the wonderful Mr. Joe Parker.
Good evening, my name is Joe, and before we go any further, I know what you're thinking. He's pretty hot, right? You'd do me right. So would I. Sadly, it turns out no one else will. Honestly, the last time I had sex, the guy picked me up on the back of his penny farthing. We met on the original Grindr, ye old Grindr. Messages were actually exchanged by a carrier pigeon. Yeah. And the content of the messages was a lot better back then, that's for sure. You know, not like now where you just get one-word questions like looking, horny, fist. No, back then, a gentleman would compose you a sonnet before he gave you syphilis. Shall I compare thee to the beauty of a summer's day? Art thou hosting at dusk to engage in acts quite gay? Thou art more radiant than the shining of the brilliant sun, and I beg to thrust my cocketh betwixt the cheeks of thy bum. The only problem was it took him so fucking long to write the thing in the first place. You think your Wi-Fi's bad? Try waiting for a pigeon to come through with the full-size oil painting of a dick pic. You know, Michelangelo was always available for these types of portraits, but don't ask Van Gogh, because he tended to cut things off. I think part of the reason I've been single for so long is due in part to my terrifying encounter with the infamous toilet roll ripper. How was I to know? He looked just like anyone else. Like you, actually. Totally unassuming, and he didn't use words like cum dump and heavy load and mangina on his profile. So naturally, we arranged a date. Now, who's ready for me to spill the tea? The golden rules of dating are very different between straights, lesbians and gays. For straight people, on a first date, she'll give you a peck on the cheek if you're well behaved, but don't you dare look at her tits. That is reserved for second dates only. Third date, she'll put out, and if you're really worth it, anal. Now don't come crying to me if you didn't get anal on your third date. You just wasn't worth the strain. Lesbians, different story. Lesbians are like penguins. They mate for life. Everything happens on that first date. They move in together, adopt a cat, and live miserably ever after. And then we go on to the gays, the ones I actually know a bit about. A date on Grindr isn't a date in the traditional sense of the word. Even calling it a date is a bit of a stretch. A bit like me the morning after. So this Grindr date, your messages start off with, you have to set the scene. You ask that all-important question, what are you into? Be it glory holes, butt plugs, or Liza Minnelli. And then we move on to, lastly but no means least, the trading of the gentleman's selfie, the dick pic. Everything has been leading to this very moment. And you know you're onto a good thing when the response is a live location, a postcode, and the door off the latch. If things are going really well, an arse pic is always appropriate. But be sure to put on a good spread. People like to know what they're eating. Sorry, that was maybe a little bit too tongue-in-cheek. Who needs a face pic anyway? Very overrated. Do you have a mouth? Yes. Does it open? Yes. Wide? Yes. Are you missing any teeth? Yes. What time can you get here? So, Ricky, the toilet Jim, his name is Jim. Oh my God, forget I said that. His name is Jim. In accordance to the revisal of the Data Protection Act 2018, his name's going to be Jim for just a little while. Jim arrives at my door and he's very excited to meet me. Yes. This area is fantastic. I love it round here. I just went past the local and said hello to all the people in the pub. Firstly, I too live in Lewisham, and that was a Wetherspoons. I don't even make eye contact with these people. And secondly, why aren't you blinking? This was to be my first, friends, of many, many, many red flags during my encounter with the toilet roll ripper. Are we familiar with the term red flag?
Yes. Yes.
It's a warning of danger ahead. It is. And I lost my place. Here's a fun idea. I have a game for us. I want you all to keep score of just how many red flags I encounter this evening. So Jim is doing his very best to be the perfect gentleman. Every time I stand up, he stands up. I sit down, so does he. I do the Macarena, and so does he. But Jim, because that's his name. There's no need to keep sitting and standing every time I do, like a demented jack-in-the-box. And the rocking backwards and forwards is quite off-putting. Oh, I was only being polite. I just can't believe it. You're so gorgeous, and out of all the guys out there, you chose to meet me. Red flag. I explained to him, Jim, I chose to meet you just as you chose to meet me. Let's not overthink things. Don't you dare try and psychoanalyse me. And with that, Jim's demeanour switched quicker than it's taken Her Royal Highness, the Princess of COVID, to circulate this room. Jim, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to offend you with my balanced composure. It's at this moment that Jim insists on getting me a present. Oh, I'm such a bad house guest. How could I come here and not bring you a gift? There's a shop next door. I know. I'll go buy you an ice cream. Don't worry. I'll take your keys. Okay. And off he skips to the shop. It's a 3 to 6 minute round trip to obtain my frozen dessert. He returns 45 minutes later with said ice cream and a black eye. This area is horrible. I hate it round here. The people are awful. Now that's more like the Lewisham I know and love. It turns out there was a fight going on outside the shop, and our Jim thought he'd be the knight in shining armour and play the hero and intervene. Now, for me, unless you're a frontline worker, my mother, or the judge that freed Britney, you, sir, are no hero. Oh, Jim, are you okay? Can I give you something cold for your eye? My ice cream, perhaps? How about your heart? So there we sit, in awkward silence. He's got a cold compress on his face, while I'm performing cunnilingus on a cornetto. Once the dust has settled on that chapter of drama, he makes his move and we take things to the bedroom. Yes, okay, I appreciate he's weirder than expected, but a shag's still a shag. I mean, it would be rude not to. You can lead a gay man to water, but you can't stop him from putting a cock in his mouth. 7 minutes of unbridled passion later, and Jim won't leave. His conduct is so bizarre, the very idea of asking him to leave has convinced me I'm going to end up a headless torso on Crimes That Shook Britain. So we get into bed, because I think we've established he's staying the night. where he goes in for a really tight spoon and inhales my hair. Let me still be here in the morning. Just as my arms are turning blue from the restriction of his grasp, he gets up to take a shower. And I see my opportunity to escape. My flatmate, the lucky bitch, is away for the night, so I barricade myself in her bedroom, finally alone and safe. I relax, in the knowledge knowing that I'll live to see another episode of Drag Race. I'm awoken a short while later, unable to breathe. Yeah, he found me, didn't he? And he's holding on even tighter than he was before. I just want to be as close to you as humanly possible. He's going to be wearing my skin next, isn't he? I shake myself free and insist that we go back to my bedroom. See, my flatmate's a bit funny with people in her room, and I think my impending murder in her bed has overstepped that mark. Upon arrival to my bedroom, I see a few changes have been made. He's tidied up, he's made the bed. No. He's moved the bed, and there's a plastic sheet on the floor. This is never a good sign. That's either for blood spatter, to wrap up my remains, or I'm in for a golden shower. None of which I've signed up for. Jim, I'm on the verge of a breakdown by this point. Jim, what have you done to my bedroom? I just wanted to make everything perfect for you. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. I just want to sleep. Oh, you'll sleep all right. I'll make sure of that. Oh, here we go. Sealed my fate, haven't I? Oh, I reluctantly get back into bed. My life flashing before my eyes. All those years wasted being vegan and paying for Amazon Prime. As I lay me down to sleep, I play my soul to keep. And just at the very moment I thought I was going to be bludgeoned to death, he passes out. Oh, he's snoring. I've never been more thrilled to have a man pass out beside me. The next morning when I wake up, he's gone. No, he's gone. And my keys are on the side, and there's no duct tape on my mouth and my arms, they're neither shackled nor dismembered. Anyway, I get up and decide to go about my day. And off I go for my morning constitutional. I take a seat. And there's no toilet roll. That's odd. So I make my way out to the living room for a Kleenex or a scatter cushion or something. And I've pulled my shorts up, but only part way, and now is not the time to be touching cloth. And I waddle through to see there's something all over my floor. And it's covered. And I get closer, and it's individual pieces of toilet roll with messages written upon them. I heart you, be mine forever. Thanks for such a pleasant evening, and can't wait to see you again. Wow. I really make quite the impression, don't I? Do you know what? I take it all back. This is single-handedly the most romantically terrifying thing anyone's ever done for me. And there you have it, friends, the calling card of the toilet roll ripper. There was a poetic justice to the fact I did use these to wipe my ass. Thank you so much.